Good morning, dear students. Today we will start with another chapter from Hornbill, Landscape of the Soul, written by Natalie Truework. I think it's not clear. 1 minute. Drag it. A wonderful old tale is told about the painter Wu Daozi, who lived in the 8th century. So there has been a very interesting story about a very famous painter, Wu Daozi, who used to live in 8th century. His last painting was a landscape commissioned by the Tang Emperor Xuanzong. This last painting was ordered by the emperor, and the painting was to decorate a palace wall. He was ordered to decorate a palace wall. The master had hidden his work behind a screen. Like, he did not show his work, he hid it behind a screen. So only the emperor would see it. For a long while, the emperor admired the wonderful scene. He loved it, he appreciated it, discovering forests. There were forests on the wall, high mountains, waterfalls, clouds floating in an immense sky, men on helipads, birds in flight. "Look, sire," now said the painter. Now painter said that, "Sir, in this cave, at the foot of the mountain, dwells a spirit." In this cave which you are seeing on the wall, there lives a, dwell means live, there lives a spirit. The painter clapped his hands, and the entrance to the cave opened. And he clapped his hands, and the entrance opened. The inside is splendid. Splendid is huge, beyond anything words can convey. This was something like which cannot be explained. By words. "Please let me show your majesty the way." Then he said, "I'll show you the way." The painter entered the cave. Finally, the painter entered the cave, but the entrance closed behind him, and the door shut down. And before the astonished emperor could move or utter a word, the painting had vanished from the wall. And suddenly the emperor saw there was no painting. Not a trace of Wu Daozi's brush was left. I mean, the painter was also nowhere, and the artist was never seen again in this world. I mean, this is something, it could be a myth maybe. Such stories played an important part in China's classical education. Like, they were very, rampant, they were very common. The books of Confucius and Zhuangzi are full of them. These two are the, philosophers actually, and their books are famous. Their books are full of, such stories. They help the master to guide his disciple in the right direction. And every teacher could teach their children considering and, using these stories. Beyond the anecdote, they are deeply revealing. Anecdote is an incident actually, which people can use for the reference. They are deeply revealing of the spirit in which art was considered. And when you hear these stories, you would understand that how people were involved with art during that time. Contrast this story or another famous one about a painter who would not draw the eye of a dragon. Now there is another story which is just opposite it. It is about a painter who would not draw the eye of a dragon he had painted for fear it would fly out of the painting. Like, he would never draw a dragon because the dragon might have come out of the painting. It was such an original painter. With an old story from my native Flanders that I find most representative of Western painting. So, dear children, by now you would have understood that in this chapter, art has been compared, like the art pattern of Western world and the art pattern of this classical world of China. Okay, we'll continue with this story tomorrow.